Welcome to another edition of Card Show Live, where we will preview five of our favorite shows coming up in the next couple weeks. And we're going to get into it in no particular order. These are our top five shows that must attend. Number one is the Black Friday Broadview Heights show here in Broadview Heights, Cleveland, Ohio. 100 tables of sports and Pokemon. And this is the first time we've done a show on Black Friday. It's something new that we've never done. I know that there's other shows that do 2 and 3 days for the weekend and start on Black Friday, but we thought we would try something just on Friday because, as we said last week, Jeremy, we dare not do a show Saturday when the Ohio State plays the team up north because nobody will attend the card show that day. So Friday, we have the Black Friday show, 100 tables, sports and Pokemon. 100 tables. The show goes from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. There is an early bird VIP, and proceeds from the door, the admission sales, Jeremy, will go to charity as well. So come out and support the charity. I think it's also going to be Rainbows Babies and Children's Hospital, and we'll do that again in December with our friends at Hall of Framers. But that's the first show. Number one, Broadview Heights Black Friday show. The second show is one that when I was searching around, I thought, man, this would probably be my small show of the week. It's the Independence Township Fire Department shows, Jeremy. And I actually reached out to the guys and wanted to find out a little bit about this show. And I actually got a response. I'll just read a little bit. Uh, Joe Laddie and Don Keaty, friends in that area in New Jersey, have been putting this show on since 2013, and they do it twice a year. So they said this is the 24th show, and they just wanted to have an old school card show, Jeremy. So they set up. They have a nice room there at the fire department in Independence Township. They've had autographers there in the past, like Dwight Gooden has been there, Lenny Dykstra, Joe Pepitone, Jim Leyritz, amongst others. But they said that it's just a really fun show. 40 tables, anything from high end cards to dollar boxes for people to dig through. So 40 tables, free admission with a bake sale, Jeremy, with a bake sale. That show is Sunday, November 30th. So that show is in New Jersey. The number three show on our list is Fishers, Indiana. The Midwest Monster takes place in that city, but Jeff Mayrose also does a monthly show there. 8 a.m. to 2 p.m., free admission as well. That show is on the 29th, on Saturday. Fishers, Indiana. Wonderful town if you've never been to Fishers, Indiana. They have everything. They have a huge mall. They have Top Golf, plenty of places to eat, and it's not far from Indianapolis. If you like steakhouses, there's a really good one in Indianapolis that you should check out. And then the number four show on the list is the Lighthouse School in Nashville. You've heard us talk about the big Nashville show, the National, with 900 tables. But Jeff Mayrose also does a monthly show at the Lighthouse School, 135 tables, 90 sports, 45 Pokemon. So, you want to, the Pokemon is coming in, but what he does there is he does 90 sports, 45 Pokemon. He does that every month. Free entry, free parking at the Lighthouse School in Nashville, Tennessee. So those are the four of our shows, and we have a fifth show, which is one of our favorites, in the Fort. Jeremy, did you want to start that one off for us?
Yeah, we'll welcome back Brad Beeman to the show. Of course, is the producer behind In the Fort Card Fest and a couple other shows as well, including Shipshawana. In the Fort's one of the premier gatherings in the Midwest for collectors and enthusiasts, and it is our pleasure to welcome Brad Beeman back to Greeny Sports Cards Live.
Thanks, gentlemen. Love being back.
Yeah, and we love to bring you back because the shows that you put on are fantastic. We make no qualms about it. We love coming to your shows, whether you do them in Shipshawana, in the Fort, and eventually we'll make it down to Grove City. But this one's a special one. You do this one once a year. So tell us the reason behind this one.
Yeah, I mean, basically, it's the substitute for the fourth Shipshawana show. If you go back 5 years, we used to do 4 Shipshawanas, and we wanted to make sure Shipshawana always stayed like a hopefully Midwest event. Hopefully people think of it that way. where every show was packed and it was a premiere show. And we thought the fourth show kind of started diluting things a little bit. So we thought backing down to 3 Shipshewana shows and really blowing those out at 500 tables was the way to go. So the substitute for the fourth Shipshewana show became the In the Fort show. It was in Fort Wayne, Indiana, in downtown Fort Wayne. This one's special because we actually, for this third edition, moved it out just 10 minutes north Fort Wayne to Auburn, Indiana. So we're just 10 minutes north of Fort Wayne in a beautiful room called the Hangar. It's going to be super unique. There's airplanes, literally full-size airplanes hanging from the ceiling, and just a beautiful building with amazing parking. And that's a huge upgrade over the old show. The old show was in downtown, and we had people parking at hotels across the street because the parking would get eaten up pretty quickly. And this will allow us to accommodate and host everyone at a super high level. So we're super excited for it next weekend.
So,
Brad, Greeny referenced it earlier with Jeff's show, with the proliferation of Pokemon coming in. What's your school of thought on laying out a show with both sports cards and Pokemon now? Do you find that the audiences want those pavilions separated, or are you integrating these more because collecting is collecting?
Yeah, I mean, for us, it's the culture of the show. I mean, we definitely listen to collector feedback. That's our number one source of trying to figure out what to do. But I'll give you for example, at Shipshewana, most of our Pokemon dealers actually want to be with the sports card folks. And we really try to have a ratio of 80-20, 70-30 at most. We always want to be known first as a sports card show, though we do love our Pokemon collectors. And I always say we may only have 40 or 50 Pokemon TCG tables at the show out of 500 in Shipshewana, but we fill those seats with amazing dealers who are amazing to our collectors, and we make it worthwhile for that group of collectors to come out and see us. But to us, I think how we envision our shows is to be 80-20, 70-30 to the sports card side, because, you know, myself and Ryan Johnson, my partner, you know, we're sports card guys, and I think we want to stick to what we know best, but still help that, you know, side of the collectors. And I see a lot of things out there now saying this is sports card only show and you don't have to worry about Pokemon tables there, but we want to accommodate as many families as possible. I talk to Greeny all the time about how you see these families walk into the shows and, you know, maybe the son and the mom love Pokemon, and maybe the daughter and the dad love sports, and they go their separate ways and they find each other again and they do the scavenger hunt. And they make a day of it. So for us, I think it's important to have both. I do notice that the proliferation of, I know Greeny has one that's super successful, but an all Pokemon show, I see a lot of interest in that. And I know the Pokemon XL show in Columbus does tremendous. I know Pokepalooza in Indy is one of the fastest growing shows in the country. But for us, for Brad and Ryan, for Card Collector 2 events and B Sports, I think we'll always stay in that 70-30, 80-20 type of mix for our shows.
So this show coming up is Saturday, December 6th. A little over 200 tables, I think you told me. But what I love, too, is you guys are doing a toy drive. So tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so this is near and dear to my heart. I was raised in a town called Alexandria, Indiana, and it has a community center there. And it helps a lot of kids of all backgrounds and cultures and economic backgrounds. And what they do is a breakfast with Santa in the middle of December, where they invite the whole community, free breakfast, and they give out toys. Santa shows up, gives out a bunch of toys. And the community center used to buy those toys themselves based on donations they would get through the center throughout the year. And 3 years ago, when we started the show, this actually goes all the way back to the fourth Shipshewana show. So this probably goes back 4 years. We started filling that void. We told collectors, hey, if you bring a toy, we'll have some pretty amazing prizes for you in return. You can be in a drawing. So for this particular show, it's the biggest drawing we've ever done. $5,000 in prizes, Scion cases, PSA grading credit through our friends at TNT, who I know Greeny is great friends with as well. So we're super excited. All you have to do is bring one new unwrapped toy, donate it, and we'll just be giving stuff out all day long, whether that's Scion cases, PSA grading credit, signed memorabilia from Rookie Man Adams and their crew. So we're really excited, but we're most excited to then take those toys the following weekend down to Alexandria, where I grew up, and give them out to a bunch of kids who will be super excited to receive them.
Brad, outside of the integration and evolution of the TCG component, has there been another element or surprise iteration that has come of these shows, particularly in the Indiana space where you spend a lot of time and do your shows? What else is evolving in that space?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, there's the whole, I think Greeny probably battles with this too, is just the repacker versus the common collector versus the set builder. There's just so many niches within this community. And I think we're constantly evolving to make sure everyone that comes has a good experience. We want to make sure if you're someone that, is a repacker that needs to buy $30,000 in cards, we have more than enough inventory you would like there. We want to make sure that if you're there to build a set from 1987 Fleer, that we have a guy or two there for that. Whether you're looking for vintage cards, we have some of the top-notch vintage dealers. So I think that's probably the challenge, is just to make sure you're checking every box that you can for all the different collectors. I mean, I think when we all went to shows, I'll date myself a little bit, in the late 80s, now that I roll into my upper 40s, it was just about, trying to find a Ken Griffey Jr. rookie card, or it was just all about trying to find one dealer that was buying. And now you got dealers competing to buy. You've got collectors coming in with full Zions looking to sell. So it's just, you're constantly navigating and trying to do the best thing you can for both the dealers and the collectors. I guess the other thing I would say in Shipshewana especially, we're really trying to amp up services. We think if we want to take the next step as a show, that the COMCs, who you could take your cards to in bulk, any grading company you can get there, the TNTs that will help you with a grading submission. So we're just trying to become the most dynamic show that we can. I always say, if you had $0 and you came to the Fort show, we want to have stuff there that you can do, whether that be just bring a toy to be in the drawing, whether that be to drop off a grading submission. We don't want to make it all about, hey, you have to have $5,000 to come to the show to have a good time. We want to make sure we're checking every box, and it's a challenge. I mean, it's a challenge to have those dealers and to make sure that people feel comfortable coming to do all those activities.
Yeah, no question. We've talked about that plenty of times, is people can come and walk around.
Mhm.
You're right. And not really have to spend money, but they could bring cards to sell, but they can also, like I said, drop cards off to get graded, drop cards off to check out my cards. Maybe at some places get something authenticated. And it's not always about spending a lot of money, but it is about coming to experience the show, walk around, especially after all the food we're going to eat this week. It's a great place to get your steps in. But yeah, we look forward. This show it's been great. The new venue sounds really awesome. The airplanes are quite interesting. But we wish that this show all the best. All the shows that you have really have been taken off. Shipshewana comes in March. So what is 2026 look like for Card Collector 2 events?
Yeah, so we'll do 4 shows in Indiana and 4 shows in Ohio, just like we did this year. So you'll get your 4 Grove Cities. The next Grove City Card Fest is on February 1st. You can always check out Greeny's show the day before and make a weekend of it in beautiful Columbus, Ohio. But you'll have 2 super quality shows there. We might do a slight expansion for the February show, just because you guys know first quarter shows are a whole different level than the rest of the year. People are really excited to get out there and go to shows. So we'll make sure that we have even more vendors for you on February 1st in Grove City. That'll be quarterly. Then we'll, the first Shipshewana of the year is March 6, 7. And after that, we will have the May Memorial Day weekend show, and then come back in August, 2 weeks after the National, to finish out our season there. And then I'm quite sure we'll have a Fort show to finish out the year again. So pretty much the same schedule, maybe a couple surprises that we're not ready to announce quite yet, but we'll be sure to blast those out at cardfestevents.com, which is our website, or you can check us out at B_sports, or there's a guy, Ryan Johnson, who has a pretty decent following at Card Collector 2.
Brad, we really appreciate you joining us again this evening, and we are really looking forward to that that end of January, beginning of February weekend in Columbus. We've got the Ohio State Card Show on the 31st, and then the Grove City Card Show on February 1st. So, yeah, if you're in the Midwest and around that area, you're going to want to make sure you're in Columbus, Ohio, and Grove City that weekend.
Absolutely. You'll see probably a little carryover between dealers, but the quality of dealers all weekend along will be tremendous. And if you like cards, I don't know where else you would be, but in Columbus, Ohio, the last weekend in January.
Perfect. Thanks, Brad. Have a great show.
All right. Thank you, guys. Appreciate you.
See you, Brad.